Hello, it's Deborah from the attic, and today I want to share with you my latest kit. This is a kit that's been in my head for several months, and it's taken me a long time to track down the source material because I was looking for something that was very much of a specific period, and the period that I was thinking about was the 19th century. So maybe from about sort of 1780 to about 1860, that sort of period, and I had a very specific period in my mind that I wanted to try and capture, and this is the result. So I will take you through all of the papers. I will also provide links to where you can find this in my Etsy shop below the video. So in this video I'm going to take you through the papers, and I'm going to show you how to make this folder, which is a little bit different to the standard things that I show you how to make, but I thought that would be fun. But of course the papers are also completely suitable to make a standard journal size of 5 by 7. But today I'm going to show you how to make this wallet and this closure. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell so that you know whenever new videos are uploaded. Let me talk you through the pages. The source images that I've used to create this kit are all quite old. They're not pristine with modern colours. They're all quite, as you can see, they're of their own period, and it's taken a certain amount of manipulation in order for these to be focused and nice to use and colour coordinated. This is old source material, but I rather like the feel that it gives. Now there are 12 of these large A4 sheets, and the actual images themselves measure 10 by 7, so they will print out nice and easily for you. I also wanted to use some of the styling of this sort of 19th century dance, music, images, just to try and really give a sense of the period. This sheet has got 24 word boxes on it with words associated with this type of thing, such as dance, romance, lyrical, whirl, harmony, and 3 tags at the bottom as well. There are 2 sheets with 2 of these large folding pockets on them. Pockets, envelopes, it's a moot point. But I've designed these in such a way that when you fold them, this top piece, which forms the front folding flap, is the right way up. The piece on the back is also the right way up, and then these will fold to be the right way up. So everything is worked out for you. You don't have to cut and glue anything. You just have to fold them on these lines and they will work. And this is the second one. And this, again, this is using old imagery. And I think it gives the impression of, you know, those sorts of musty books that you get in libraries? This gives you that sort of look, but without the musty smell. Then I have 2 smaller folding pockets. These are like money wallets, I guess. And again, these have been designed so that when you fold them, everything will work the correct way up, including these front folding flaps, and these do have tabs on them that you can fold in and glue. This final sheet is a really large folding pocket envelope and it is designed so it will hold everything else together, and again, everything when you fold it will match up correctly. I've cut out the envelopes, the pockets and the tags and folded them because I want to just show you what they look like. And this is the really large pocket when it is cut out and folded, and you can just add an element here to seal it if you choose to do so. But these are the 4 medium-sized pockets, and I wanted to show you what I mean about when they fold over, this text is visible, and this is the right way up on the reverse of the envelope, and that's all been deliberately done so that when you use these as pockets, they work the right way up. And I rather like them. I really like these old images. These come from like fashion plates, so they're not pristine, sharp images, but they really evoke a period, I think. This is blank on the reverse. And this one, the text is centered in that little flap, and you still have the image of the dancers underneath, and there's a little bit of music on the reverse. And then of course the tags that coordinate with all of these elements. So all of these single pages will make a beautiful journal. When they're all cut out and folded down, they will make something that is 5 inches by 7 inches. Or you can do something slightly different with them, which is what I've done using this large envelope. Any of these sheets can be cut down and made smaller so that it will fit inside the large envelope. But some of them have got imagery on the reverse that you might not want to cut through. But there are 4 sheets that lend themselves to this really well, and they can be cut down so they will fit into the envelope. Now the envelope is the largest size I could make it on a single sheet of paper, which is why the actual sheets won't fold down and fit perfectly inside the envelope. But again, with this project in mind, I have made sure that there are some that will. So because I know this envelope measures just under 4.5 inches, I'm going to cut my pages so that they are 4.25 inches. I've got my 4 sheets cut down, and I want to do something on the inside of each of these pages. I haven't printed them off back to back so that I can show you some other ways that you can use them. These are my full-size folded pages, and I'm going to take some of these pages and I'm going to cut them down so that they will fit inside my other pages. What do I mean? I'm going to show you what I mean. So I've got my outer sheet. This is one that I cut down because I could afford to lose some image either side, because the image is in the centre, so you're not losing anything too much. These are the sheets that I've cut down. I've almost taken the centre of these sheets, not this one particularly, but it works for my project. And I'm using Beacon 3-in-1 glue to glue these together, because I found Beacon 3-in-1 is the best glue for not warping paper. It really is very good, and I'll do both sides while I'm here, since I have the glue in my hand and ready to go. I'm going to glue these edge to edge. I found that's the easiest way to do it, and I'm not going to stress too much if I don't get it exact, because I will trim these down once the glue has dried. If there are any little overhang bits, I'll just trim them away. Doing it this way will give me a really nice sharp crease in the fold, and there's a tiny little bit of overhang which I will trim off when the glue has dried. This is my craft knife. Usually I keep it protected in a wine bottle cork like that. So to cut away the edges of a page like this, or a set of pages like this, you've got quite a lot of bulk there, so don't expect yourself to be able to cut through all of those layers on the first pass. Keep going. Don't need to apply too much pressure, just make sure you keep the blade nice and straight and hard up against the metal ruler. Dust the little pieces away. Don't move the ruler away until you're absolutely satisfied you haven't got any little hanging bits left over. One more for luck. And there we go. Nice sharp edge. So now I get to do the fun creative part. I'm going to take these little pockets and I'm going to attach them to my sheets of paper. So I'm going to do it in a number of different ways. So this way I'm going to add the cover of the little envelope pocket thing to the other side of the page, and that's the bit that I'm going to glue down. And it makes it a sort of a mystery, you know, whenever you're going back through this. It's nice. I quite like little hidden secret pockety places where you have to explore your book again, because you can't remember all of these little hidden spaces that you create. And this is a fun way to use a journal or a book. I mean, this would most likely not be a journal for me. I would use this as a little book to capture memories, maybe store cinema tickets, maybe if you go to a gig or a concert or something, then you're going to keep the tickets and the programs and things like that in a book like this. Now this will open out to the side, and you can decide whether or not you want to glue it at this point. I'm going to leave it because it may be that I use it as a tuck spot as well, so I might just glue along the bottom and then I've got a nice little tuck spot. So if you don't glue it immediately and wait until you know how you're going to use this little patch in your book, you give yourself even more options. So with this pocket, we can do the same sort of thing. I'm going to hook it over this page. Those colours match really nicely, that sepia colour. And I'm going to glue the top of the pocket. And this is a pocket, so this is a sort of an enclosed unit. But I'll show you how we use it. So this is glued down and in place, and when you turn your page over, the way that you would use this is by slipping something in here. And again, it's just a fun way of doing something slightly different. I've cut down one of my words as well, my elegant little words, and I'm going to just pop that at the top of this. Try not to get glue all over myself. So there's a couple of ways that we can glue envelopes and pockets into place. This one I'm going to glue in a more traditional way. I'm going to glue the back and I'm going to attach that to my book. And there's a couple of ways that you could use this as well. You can leave it like this as just a folding place where you could write on the inside. You could do some journaling on the inside. Or you could glue along the bottom so you have a traditional sort of envelope. Or you could glue along the bottom and glue this in place, and then your tuck spot is actually this. So you turn it into a little tuck spot, although it looks like an envelope. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll glue along the bottom, like that. Then I'll glue this little piece on, like that. Sticking tags into these little things reminds you of which ways they open, but I quite like the ambiguity of that. And this pocket I'm just going to glue squarely onto this page here. So this is my little mini booklet, all made up with my enticing little pockets and my little tags. And you can see how nicely it works when you cut down some of the other pages and glue them onto the inside. It means that you can centre them if you choose. And everything works together. You don't have to worry about matching the colours because that's all part of what happens in the kit anyway. And there's this little pocket here. That's where I would store mementos of gigs or music events or anything like that that I go to. And I keep the, I've actually got a cinema ticket that I might put in here actually from a trip that I took to the cinema last week. First time I've been to the cinema in France in my local area, although I did go and see an English language film. And these things all fit really nicely inside this envelope, and of course you can decorate the inside of the envelope. I haven't done any inking because of course you can ink any of these pages that you want. You could ink inside here as well. I haven't done that because I like to give you ideas without taking up too much of your time. And then this will close really nicely. I'm going to show you how to make the closure mechanism. Now, I'm lucky that I have 2 hole punches that will work for me. This one is 3/4 of an inch and this one is 1/2 inch. I've also got a crocodile. If you don't have these sizes, just draw a circle around a coin or something and cut it out, but try and get 2 that are slightly different sizes, one slightly larger than the other one. But if you're going to use my method to make something like this, the way to do it is to begin with your hole punch. So I'm using the smaller hole on my crocodile and I'm going to punch out 2 holes like that. Always do this bit first and then find the centre by using your hole punch upside down. It's much easier doing it this way than cutting out the hole and then trying to find the centre with the crocodile, because you haven't got enough cardboard to actually hold to get it into the centre exactly right. And then I'm going to use the 3/4 inch hole punch for the next size. I deliberately bought these hole punches in these sizes because there was a time when I was doing an awful lot of these sorts of things. So you put them on top of each other like that, and then they will take an eyelet like this. So the eyelet will pop through the little hole like that. And all I need to do now is decide where on my cover I want it to go. So I think probably just under that E is about the right size, the right place for it to sit. I'm going to put my little hole about there, and then I put both of those little holes over the hole in the envelope cover and fiddle about and put the brad in there. Not the brad, the eyelet. Then back to my crocodile, and I'm going to use this squeezy bit to squeeze the eyelet in place. So, now if this will give it a slightly harsh edge, but if you want to protect your paper on the inside, you could use washi tape just over where the eyelet is, and that will protect your paper underneath from any rips. Of course you could put another piece of paper under there as well and glue it in place, but essentially this is how the mechanism works. I've got a thin piece of ribbon which I have tied around the underside of my little cardboard fixing, and if I bring it this way and this way, I can tie it with a bow. And that's a slightly different way that you can use papers, and certainly the papers in this kit, but of course you can do this with any papers that you might have, and I think that's quite a nice way to, a nice little document wallet like that is quite a nice way to keep your mementos and keep your information, maybe even keep your journaling. Depending on the subject matter of the papers, of course, you could do this for recipes as well. Ooh, I'd like that for myself. I might have to design something that captures recipes. But anyway, I hope that that was interesting. I hope that's given you some ideas for how you can boost your own creativity. And until we meet again, stay safe and take care.